Hi there, and welcome to Pilates at Swarthmore, but except, of course, right now, still at my home and at your homes as well. So I want to begin with a chest opening exercise that we use with the TheraBand. This can be done standing because of where my camera is aimed. I'm going to be just sitting here. You could also kneel if that's better for you, but you want to grab your TheraBand and you'll take it out between your hands, wrists are straight. So I sort of have my band between my thumb and my index finger. And then you'll just take it forward. It can start down by your hips, or if you're standing, the center of the band may fall a little below your knees. Bring the arms out and then pull the band wide as you bring it over your head. Pull it wider as you bring the band behind you. Basically, the band's drawing a big circle behind your body. And then the arms come in, and if you're standing, the loop of the band, the drape of the band comes down behind your knees. You're going to pull the band open, keep the elbows and the wrists straight, lengthen out through your fingertips, lift it here, coming forward and around. Now, as you look at yourself in a mirror or maybe in your screen, you should be able to see that the band stays parallel to the ground as you lift it up, and then also as you pull it behind you. If you're vertical and your weight is equally balanced right to left, and you keep the band parallel to the floor as you move, you'll end up getting the same amount of rotation in both shoulders. So that's one of the reasons why you want to just be aware of where the band is in relationship to both your body and the ground. This should feel really wonderful for you. If you feel like it's too constrictive through your shoulders, like it feels everything's jammed up a bit, go ahead and pay out the band. If you feel like it's not enough work, you can choke up on the band a little bit, and then you'll get more work, you'll get more stretch into it, and you'll feel more stretching across the top of the shoulder and the top inside edge of your arm in particular. Keep this nice and smooth, nice and slow as you go. We're just doing one more. Keep reaching up through the center of the top of your head. Imagine energy flowing up the front of your spine while you do this to keep a feeling of lift through your torso as you work through the arms and release through your shoulders. Hopefully that felt good for everybody. It's a great chest opener, really useful when you come off your computer and right into your sessions. So we're going to continue now with the Pilates series, the intermediate mat. And you can start sitting, knees bent, hands can go forward, maybe forward and up in the air, hands to your legs if you want a little more support. And we'll roll back to your upper ab curl to go right into hundreds. So come down to your ribs, come down maybe to the base of the shoulder blades, fold the legs in, and then lift the legs up, the arms stretch forward, and you pump. Moving the arms up and down here. It's an inhale for 5 beats and exhale for 5 more for every single breath. The legs press together. The height of the legs will vary. You could take them out to whatever level sort of works for you, right? You just want to be sure that where you stay, you don't have to stay there, right? The angle you choose is productive for you. You want to challenge your core, but not get into your back in a way that you'll regret. So you can bend the knees in, you have your feet in close, the legs could go really low or anywhere in between there. And just know you might get a little too cautious or a little too ambitious. You can change your choice whenever you need to. As you warm up, your body will change and the angle of your legs should change as well. Keep breathing fully. Inhale into your very bottom of your lungs and exhale, pull the air out. And one more breath here. And then we'll fold the legs in and stretch the legs forward for roll up. Lifting the arms up to the ceiling. Here you could be using a TheraBand around your feet. You lift the arms, you lift the head, neck, and shoulders. Exhale, come up and curving the body off the ground. Dive forward over your legs, feet are flexed, head reaches out between the fingertips. And then we'll start to roll back. You start with the pelvic girdle, doing movement, a rotation around the top of the legs, around the femurs, go all the way down to the ground, and then stretch the arms back, opening up your chest here, keeping the ribs grounded. And we lift the arms again. Exhale, before you come up with the rib cage, you want to breathe through this. So you use the right muscles. You don't just throw your body off the ground with momentum. And at the same time, you're not just allowing your body to fall back into gravity. You go a little slower than your body wants to go So you can feel that your psoas, your hip flexors work to release you down, and so do the abdominals. Reach the arms long, opening up the chest, and let's lift again. Exhale to rise. The head leads your way, right? Not the arms. The arms are moving because the spine is moving, the ribs are moving, the arms are carried forward by the movement of your torso and also carried back. There's always opposition. You're reaching out through your heels, back through your spine, forward through the fingertips, and back through the shoulders. Then finally rest, one last one. Just continue moving here with your breath. It sets the pace for your rhythm, almost as if your breath were the metronome for your Pilates session today. You could do an inhale and exhale in each direction here, or a long inhale up and a long exhale down. Let's circle the arms around at your side. Grab your TheraBand if you have one and you want to use it. It's optional completely, but this is a nice benefit. It's really useful to have a TheraBand when you do the stretches at the end of the circles, which I always like to put in for my clients and for myself because we tend to be very tight in our hips. So let's lift up into the band or not. Reach your heel up high. Shoulders are down. They sink into the ground, but you also pull your elbows forward to release the shoulders from away from your ears. Then you can do a soft point with the foot and then flex it a couple of times, getting a little bit of stretch and work through the foot and the calf muscle. And soft point. And we circle. Inhale across the body first. The opposite arm stays down, so does the hip. We rotate the leg externally, take it out to the side, and bring it up to the ceiling. Inhale across the body, long exhale. Bring it all the way around, keeping the left side grounded. The right side is heavy before the leg moves left, and the left side sinks into the ground before the leg moves to the right. We'll do two more, reaching here, feeling that length across the outer hip, and then the length of the inside thigh. Stretch the leg, and try to open the hip by keeping the pelvis grounded and moving the leg as far out away as you can. Now reverse. Externally rotate to move your right leg to the right and circle it low. Drag it across the body, bring it up to the ceiling, and reach again. Head is relaxed here. Your gaze should be up and slightly forward. My gaze with the camera here, I'm trying to look and see what you all are doing as I'm doing this myself. So my head will be turned, not ideal for alignment, but great for teaching, right? And then take it over and around, circle here, drag it up, lift, and now bring both ends of the band into your right hand, left hand on your left hip bone, rotate the leg externally, take it out to the right. Open it here, and you can rock the leg just a little bit towards your shoulder and away, keeping that left side down so you feel the stretch through the upper inner thigh and across the front of the hip, across the front of the pelvis. Exhale, bring the leg up to the ceiling. Switch hands. Now the left hand holds the band, the right arm extends out. You stretch the leg into the band, you extend the right arm away, and you look at your right hand. Try to reach for the wall with your fingertips and reach with the foot for the opposite wall. You rotate the leg internally so the toe and the knee point downward because of the rotation of the femur here, and that'll give you more stretch into your hip. Right shoulder blade is grounded. So you feel a nice twist through your torso. Exhale, we pull down, left shoulder, ribs, waist, right hip to lift the leg up to the ceiling. Pull the leg in towards your chest, towards your face to get more stretch in the back of your leg. And then you can fold the knee in, the band comes off to the side. Just hug that knee into your body, pull it tight, compress it after the stretch, and then release that leg down the mat. Give both legs a little shake and then just notice the difference in sensation and weight and where it connects to the floor. The right side should feel dropped to the ground and much more relaxed. So it's time for the left leg. Let's pull that left knee in, place the band on the foot. Extend the leg up. And we can point and flex the foot a few times here. Heel ball toe and then toe ball heel. Be sure you're moving the toes separately from the ball of your foot. So you really feel that work going on throughout the whole length of your foot here. And then we point the foot and we circle. Elbows are grounded. Take the leg across the body to your right. Exhale, go low. The left leg spins out to the left. The right side stays grounded and heavy. And reach again. The band helps you support the weight of the leg so that you have a larger circle while you still keep the torso grounded. It is more of a challenge to do it without the band, The payoff of the band is the additional stretch. And let's do that again. Work to keep the arms pressing into the ground beneath you. That'll help you open your chest and also work a little bit into the arm muscles. Let's reverse. Take the leg out to the left, externally rotate it, it goes across, internally rotate it, it's back to center at the top, and you reach. Remember, keep moving the leg. It might have a slight pause at the top, or you can choose to continually flow through the movement. Just focus on the breath. Let that exhale to be so long and deep that you feel your abdominal muscles contract and knit together like an inner corset at the end of the movement, at the end of the breath. And now at the top, we'll take both ends of the band in your left hand, hold the right hip down with your right hand, and open the left leg out to the left side. Rock it a little bit here. You can bounce it slightly in the band, or just move it if your hand is supporting the back of the thigh here. And then exhale to pick the leg up. You're pulling from the upper inner thigh. You switch hands at 90 degrees. Extend the left arm out. Sweep the leg across the body. You might think eventually you'd like to have your chest to the ceiling and your hips to the wall. So you'd end up with a rotation through your spine that was as big as you could make it safely. Always modulate this so it feels good in your body. Rotating the thigh internally so the knee points down and the foot points down. That gives you a little more stretch across the glute and into your lower back here. Pull the hip down to lift the leg up to the ceiling. You reach it high enough to feel the stretch in the back of the leg. Bend the knee as necessary, so feeling the stretch in the hamstring. Straighten it if you can. And then we'll take the band off, place it to the side. And we pull the left leg into your chest here, nice and tight, while still reaching out through the sits bone and pressing long and down with your right leg. Then we can center ourselves on the mat if we had adjusted for space in the room, and roll forward and up for your rolling like a ball. Come up to sitting, come to the front third of your mat, hands wrap around your shins, lift your tail to rock back on your sacrum, look down at your abs. Inhale, you lift the tail to roll to your shoulders. Exhale to come forward to balance on your sacrum with your feet still off the floor. Rolling back here. Exhale, coming through. Start the exhale as soon as the tip of your shoulders touch the ground. That way you're already into the exhale as you need the lift forward. And do that again. We can challenge ourselves by taking the elbows to the knees, going back, and then trying to pull forward with the torso. Coming up, I haven't done this in a while, so it's like a surprise for my body. You still have to think of the psoas keeping the torso towards the legs, and then the upper abs working to pull you forward into your thighs. Diving forward and up here, and then we can slide back a little bit. Hang onto the right leg for the ab series. Right hand at the ankle, left hand below the right knee on the shin. Push the left leg away, and then take your time going down into your upper ab curl again. Shin pushes up, hands push down. Inhale, let's switch the legs. They move like pistons in and out of your body. You pull the right leg in tight as the left leg stretches out, the left leg in tight as the right leg presses away. The only reason you wouldn't pull tightly, maybe if you had a knee issue, you would have your hands underneath on the hamstring, so the knee would be more open, and that would be easier for your knee joint, and you would still get the work here for your core. Let's do a double leg stretch, both legs together, one hand to each shin. Inhale, arms and legs reach up to the ceiling and slightly away from each other. Circle wide with the arms, embrace the legs in. You're looking down your midline continuously. You stretch, you reach. Do not fall flat, right? So as the arms go back, you want to be careful that you don't collapse out of your upper ab curl. The arms are there to challenge your strength there and your ability to focus on holding the position of your spine. We'll do just one last one. Reach everything away from center and then embrace in to your midline. And now for scissors, the right leg is up and the left leg reaches forward. Arms are straight, hands high. Switch your legs. And exhale, switch again. Soft point through the foot. Don't overpoint your feet. We don't want to risk a cramp, but think of the toes still a little soft. You should be able to wiggle them or think of them spreading slightly even as you reach long through your toes. One more set. Keep looking down that midline. Push the legs out through the air in space, and then bring your hands behind your head. Both legs will lift to the ceiling, double leg lower lift. Elbows can come forward and down so that your rib cage is more rounded behind you. Inhale, push the legs out and away. Exhale, pull the belly deep and lift the legs up. You want the legs centered here so you have equal work through both sides of your core. And you press the legs together to feel a little more inner thigh and a little more low abdominal work. Press it away. Check that you're still working to press your waistline into the ground when the legs are out at the furthest point from your face. Gaze is always down, right? Remember, if you lift your head, you'll start to feel more in your neck and less in your abs. One last one. Stretch, reach it. Exhale, take it slow enough that you feel the work. And let's rotate to the right and then to the left. Coming up and forward, picturing armpits trying to lift into the inside of the knee. The legs still work here straight in and out of the socket. So they don't rock side to side, only the upper body does. Try to come forward and up away from the tip of the shoulder blades. So you get that lift as well as the rotation. We're ending to the left, coming back to center and laying it down. I know you felt your abs, I certainly did. And rock forward and up. The great thing about working through the Pilates work like this is that no matter how many times you've done it, how many years you've done it, how consistent you are, you're still always going to feel the work because you always work at your own level. So here for spine stretch, stretch the arms forward, press down with the arms, lift up through the center of your head, look down, chin to chest, then you bring the head forward to move the neck, then the upper back, the mid back, the low back, dive forward and lift your belly into the curve of your spine. It's as if you're diving over a ball here that gives you a little feeling of buoyancy through the middle of your body. Now imagine that ball rolling up the front of your body to lift you. So the front line of your body is just as long as the back at the end. And then we look down and we dive forward again. That leads you out over and around in an arc, in a curve, a beautiful line through space as you go forward. Eventually feet stay flexed here. These can always bend. And of course you can elevate your hips in this exercise or any of the seated exercises if your back line is tight. One more, exhale, breathe out completely as you dive over. Try to feel that belly suck into your back, stretching the back wherever it feels tight. That includes the back of your legs, of course, as well. And then we'll lift to come up. We'll just do one more for the transition. So exhale all the way over. We transition by reaching hold of your feet, of your ankles, of your calves, whatever you can reach, and pull the waist back. Then the heels come together. And we can pull forward to the heels for open leg balance. Right leg goes up first. We extend the leg here, stretch it up and out, feel the length in the back of the leg, and then pull heel together and lift the left leg up and out. The legs are in external rotation and you come back. Now your spine here is rounded. It's like you're wrapping your low belly around a bowling ball. It keeps you weighted and heavy there so you're more stable in this position. Reach out with the left leg, the shoulder blades fall. They don't hike up to lift the leg for you. And now both legs simultaneously, they go up, the hands rotate more to the top of the shin, pull the feet back down and in, connect your heels together and reach it up again. Stretch and then fold it down. On the next one, we'll roll. I'm going to move forward a little bit and extend the legs here. Keep them narrow, just the width of your shoulders, and we lift the tail to roll back to your shoulder blades, balance point, and then exhale, come forward again. So you roll back, and then exhale, dive into your legs. You may find that your hands move closer to your knees as you're doing this, and that's okay. Eventually, the goal would be, we'd like to try to get our fingers to our toes. Even if you can do that, it's hard to keep it while you roll. So do the best you can, choose what works for you. And we'll do one last one. Coming forward to balance. Close your legs together. Here, easiest to bend the knees, go from your feet to the ground. More difficult, we're going to roll the spine back, either with the hands along the legs or the hands free. Bring your spine to the ground and lift the legs up in the air for corkscrew. You could also put a band around your feet here for more support. So corkscrew, we circle the legs to the right, exhale around to the left, complete the circle at the top of it and the end of the breath. Reversing the direction, going left, circle around to the right. Complete it here. When we start learning this exercise, we really focus on keeping the hips level and grounded. So you feel that work through the opposite obliques in your body to balance your body here against the movement and weight of your legs. As you advance the exercise, you can start to tip the hip a little bit. Remember, we tried this, I think, last time, where you tried to keep the feet in the same plane. So that would lift the hips slightly off the mat on one side as you move your legs to the other side. And then when you spiral, you get a little bit of a hip shift, but you still feel a lot of work in your core. Let's try it one more time like that if you want to. And you can start taking the circles larger as long as you don't allow momentum and gravity to do the work for you. You've got to choose to pick up the hip and choose to place it down. This will give you a little massage in your low back. Hope you enjoyed it. And then fold the knees in, hug the legs into your body, and then we roll forward and up to sitting for saw. Again, another exercise where you could elevate your hips up on a folded blanket, a yoga block, a book, etc. So reach long through the fingertips. Inhale, press the arms down and grow taller up through the center of your body. Exhale, rotate to the right. Diving over, stretch the arms long in opposite directions. You're bringing your ear towards your knee. Lift to come up, center again, and we spin to the left, dive over and lengthen the body here, stretch it on out, look up and back behind you, looking for your fingertips in the back hand. Rising again, sitting vertically, spiral, and then dive. The opposite hip pushes down. It's like you bolted your sits bone into the ground here. Lift to come up, balance through center, and twist again and bring it over. So you're trying to imagine that mainly it's the rotation of your rib cage that moves the arms in the diagonal line that you're finding in this exercise. Coming up, last set, we spin, twist, and reach long, out with the head, out with the heels, out with the fingertips. Coming up, center, and spiral again. Our spines need this rotation. You just have to be sure that your hips are open enough that you get free movement here. If the back line of the body is too tight, you'll feel a lot better doing this with a more elevated hip. All right, legs together and onto our stomachs now for swan. So we start looking down, the hands by our chest, and the elbows reach back and up. Pull back through the arms, pull forward with the heart, look up, pull your body into an upper back extension, release on back down, a little bit at a time, almost as if the belly was dragging you to the floor, and the back allows it. Coming up. Again, you resist gravity going down. Try to go down slower. You don't just collapse. You work it down 1 inch, another inch in sequence. And we lift again. Push here, shoulders down your back, and slowly come down. Try to find more curve and then come out of it carefully. Prop yourself up on your forearms for the single leg kick. So you push the fists into the ground, you pull the elbows back and down, and we stretch the legs long. We're going to kick the right heel in twice. Pulse 1, 2, and down. And now the left. Pulse 1, 2, and down, and then the right. Every beat here, you'll feel that stretch in your quad. You want to try to hold the pelvis steady and grounded here, as if the pelvic girdle itself was filled with sand or concrete and locked into the ground here. Part of that happens because even though the legs are moving, you still have an active reach up and forward with the eyes in the chest, right? So for us, stability is not just locking something down, but it's balancing the forces that work around the center. So that's why it's important to push down and then lift forward just as you're working your legs. Plus, of course, there's no point in just working part of your body when you can work everything, right? Joe Pilates wanted us to get a full workout in as little amount of time as possible so you could enjoy the rest of your life. You know, not that he wasn't expecting us to enjoy this. So anyhow, here, lay down on your stomach, turn your head to the right, overlap the hands here on your back, and we take a deep inhale to prepare. Exhale to kick 3 times both legs. Pulse 1, 2, 3. Push the feet into the ground. Reach the arms back, palms in. or up, whatever kind of feels better in your chest to open it. And then go down, turn your head to the left. And we kick again. Pump the air out of your lungs on that exhale. The feet go down. You must keep them grounded as you lift. Eventually, you try to interlock your thumbs and reach the arms long and down towards your feet. Down you go. When you're down, you drop the elbows sideways and pulse the air again. Press down, we lift, reach up. We're going to do one more side here. Head turns left, elbows fall. Shoulders rotate in a little bit here, so the back is wide as you pulse the legs. And then we're going to sweep the shoulders together behind you. Reach back through the arms, go long through the hands, go long through your feet, and high with the heart. Down we go. Sit back in a child's pose. Round your back, curve it, stretch it. And let the head drop and hang here to traction out your neck. And then we take our time coming up. We curl the tail under, float up with the back muscles picking us up from the bottom to the top. That should be as much of a beautiful exercise as anything else. We really try to work the transition so that the movement is a continuous flow from the beginning to the end at the most elevated example of the Pilates workout. All right, so now the feet apart, flexed for neck pull. We take the hands behind the head, pull the skull up, elbows up, and shoulders fall. Hinge back. Keep your back safe by keeping your core engaged. Exhale, look down. You can pull the elbows down and in, roll your spine down, lay your head out, and now press fist into hand. Make it a straight line across, elbow to elbow, coming up at the head, neck, and shoulders. Exhale, pull your body forward, dive over and down. Now, this is a good exercise if you have ankle weights and you want to use them across the top of your feet and ankles. In the studio, we would expect that clients up to a pretty high intermediate level would be doing this with a strap around their feet to help them. This is why we do some different variations with the arms here now that we're home without the equipment in the studio. And let's lift to come up, fist into hand. Eventually, it's also hand behind the head, diving forward, rounding over. This exercise is an advanced version of the roll-up that we do at the very beginning of the series. You can see how it's similar, but also how it's more difficult. The legs are apart, so that makes it harder. There's more load away from center, so that makes it harder as well. One more. And diving over. You could also try a variation with your TheraBand here if you wanted to work into more strength in your movement for your own practice. Come all the way down here, and we lay on the back for bridge. So knees are bent, arms lengthen at your side. We press down through the whole foot on each side, right and left, and then begin with a little pelvic tuck. So we curve the tail up, the waist presses down. We pull back with the heels and forward with the knees, forward with the tail and the pelvic floor. Push down into your arms and even roll to the outer arm. At the intermediate level, we lift the heart up by pushing the shoulder blades together and in towards the spine behind us, underneath us. And then roll out, widen the back. The arms slightly rotate in, the shoulders curve a little bit off the ground. Come all the way down from the top of your spine to the waist, to the sacrum, to the tail. And as you rock the tail down, you'll feel your waist float off the ground. Let's do it again, and we're adding a kick. So we're going to pull up here again, push into your arms, push into your shoulders. Your neck is free. We lift as high as you can. Fold your right knee into your chest. Lift that right foot up to the ceiling and lift the foot to elevate that right hip. And then let's just bend the knee and lower the foot down. Push the foot down and lift that hip again. Do the left. Pull the knee into your body. Extend the foot up to the ceiling. Lift through the foot. Keep lifting up. You don't want to sag the left side just because there's not a foot there for support. It's much harder. It makes you work more of your core. You've got to cantilever the left side off the right or vice versa. The feet are down, and then we roll the spine down. That's sort of your prep for the kicks. That's how we transition in and out of them. And now let's go. So we roll the tail forward and up, push down and back with the heels, forward with the knees, push down through the top of the shoulders, Pull your right leg in, extend the foot up. Now keep the lift through the foot as you reach the foot down, point, flex to bring it up. 2 more, point to push it away. Eventually you tap the ground and flex to lift it. Point, reach it out, try to open the hip and lift, and then bend the knee, lower the foot parallel to the other one, elevate your hip if it's dropped, and now we pick up the left knee, reach the foot up to the ceiling. Point to bring it forward, flex to bring it up. Point, stretch it out, flex and lift it, point down, flex and high, point the foot, bend your knee in, put the foot down, lift your hip. It probably dropped a little bit, even if with our best intentions. And now roll the spine down, curve your way down into the ground here. Release the tail at the end. And we'll do another set. We're going to start with the left leg this time with the flex to lower. So curve the spine off the ground, push the floor away, stand in your feet, use your glutes to open your hips. And we pull the left leg in, lift the foot, flex to go down, point to lift it, flex to go away, point to bring it high, inhale down, exhale and lift, bend the knee, and then lower the foot. Elevate the hips, level them. Now the right knee pulls in, you lift the right leg up, flex the foot, push it away, point to bring it up. Inhale down with the flexed foot, exhale up with a pointed foot. Push it away from you and lift it again. Bend the knee into your body, lower the foot down, square off the pelvis, lift the hips a little higher, get more work in your hamstrings, in your glutes. And then we roll down with the spine, come all the way down into the floor. The tail settles at the end. Really good, nice. Now let's pull your left leg in and roll forward and up. Come up to sitting for spine twist. Feet are flexed. Again, you can elevate your hips, stretch the legs out and reach long. Adjust your position if you run into any barriers here in your room. And we'll rotate to the right, spiral around your center. Pulse 1, 2, 3, lift to center, and then twist your left. These could be a little bent if you just need a slight slackening of the tightness in your body. Remember, you want to use props if it makes your movement better. Eventually, you might be able to get rid of the props or maybe not. What matters is that it feels great in your body while you do this. And Jolie is joining us for class. My black kitty cat. And back to center and here. And one more set. She's hoping for a pet. And then back to center and down we go. And then let's go down. Sorry, the coughing, I've got a cat who has allergies and now that things are starting to bloom, my vet's messing with his meds to see what helps him. But here we go. We're going to lay down on your back now for jackknife. So you roll down and the arms stretch at your side. If you need help with this exercise, elevating your hips will help a lot. Also, sometimes, like I could hold on to the poles here of my equipment, but if I didn't have that, I could like hold on to the bottom, like the underneath part of a sofa or a heavy chair or something to help me elevate up. But we can start, you bend your knees in, lift the legs up to the ceiling, and then we press to the ground. We come up and lift the feet high. Look up, never look to the side when your hips are elevated and the weight's into your shoulders, because if you miscalculate and go onto your neck, you don't want to load the neck and then twist it. Bring the leg forward and out. I'm going to scoot forward a bit so that I can show you. When you first learn this exercise, we take the legs low first. So you take the legs out at your working level, and then you come back in over low. The legs were parallel to the ground. Then you would lift the feet up as high as you could, and then you would lower the feet down to where they started, more parallel, and then you could roll your spine out. As you get used to doing this, the legs can just go up on a higher diagonal. So you reach up and lift sort of at the same time. But at the beginning, it's helpful to just go low and then bring it on down. All right, and we'll do one more of these before looking at some of the abs, the side kicks. Different series, not the ab series. Though you're still working your abs, as you probably noticed. Resist the ground coming down, and then extend the legs forward to lay out onto your left side. So the legs are forward. It may be a 30-degree angle away from your spine. Be sure your head is back in the same line as your shoulders and your tailbone. Right hand presses into the ground, left elbow pulls in. So you get a feeling of work through your armpit and the upper sideline of your ribs. Pick up your top leg, flexing the foot, front back is first. We sweep out through the heel, pulse 1, 2, point the foot, stretch the leg back, and pulse 1 and 2. Flex to go forward. The bottom leg has to stay pushing into the floor. And you want to think of the head and the tail reaching away from each other here. That length of your body knits everything together for more stability. Stretch it back, open the hip, use your glute. Come back to center, lower the leg, we rotate and point, pick the leg up and flex, bring it down. Point to lift and flex to close it down. Pointing up and flex, squeezing it down. Now reverse the foot, flex to lift it, point to stretch it away. Flex and bring it up and point, take it down. One more like that, flex high, point, stretch it long, développé, bend the knee, slide the foot in, bend the knee to your chest, lift the foot up, flex, and push it down and out. And we glide it in, knee to shoulder, lift the foot, flex, and reach long. Close the drawbridge, and one more. Stretch out as you close. Now reverse, flex foot, and it goes high, point the foot, bend the knee, toe touches the top of the leg, you slide it down all the way to the end, flex the foot, and lift. Point, bend, and exhale. Suck the belly in tight as you push the air out of your lungs and lengthen the leg simultaneously. Lift, point, bend, and exhale all the way down and forward. We're going to rond de jambe now. You bring the leg forward, soft point, up, back, internally rotate as it goes behind you. Hold the torso still. Remember, what we don't want to see is lack of control here, which is hard because now you're just balanced on your side seam. But try to prevent yourself from leaning back, maybe by pushing the right hand into the ground, or from leaning forward, use your glute to open your hip, pull the leg forward and to center. Now reverse, take the leg back, rotate externally, lift it. Everything on the ground is active. It doesn't just lay there. It tries to connect to the floor and engage with it. Reaching up, around, forward, and back through center. And last time, you're rotating the leg on the hips. You have better congruence in the joint with the femur. Come all the way back. That's good. Let's just do one more in the series. There's more to go. But for time, we shorten it a bit here today. So you bend your knee. This is the figure 4. The hand goes between the lower leg and the thigh, and you wrap your hand around over the ankle. Pick up your bottom leg, lift it, and then bring it to the ground. And we bring it up and then down again. Gaze should be forward, not at your feet. It helps the neck stay more relaxed and helps your alignment, of course. Going up and hold the leg up, and we circle around it up 1 and 2 and 3. Lift the leg, reverse the circles 1 and 2 and 3. Bring it up and lower it down. And then let's stretch the top leg on the bottom one. Flip over onto your stomach for grasshopper. Overlap the hands, forehead on your hands, legs and turn up. Pick up your right leg, lift it, and then bring it back down. Sit now the left. See if you can keep the hip bone crest into the ground, the knee straight as you lift the leg up behind you. And then, of course, much harder to lift both legs, but we are going to do it and then clap the heels together and apart. Like tapping here. Think of the tail dropping to the ground as you work your glute to pick the legs up. And one more breath. Lower the legs. Child's pose. Hands at your side. Push up. Sit into your child's pose. Let the head fall. Stack your spine bottom to top. Curving your body up, and we switch sides. Now in the studio, we would have just rolled over and faced the opposite wall, but with the camera, we want to still see what's going on, particularly me. I want to see you. So legs reach long. You may notice that when you get onto your side that your waist flops down, and then the legs appear to be shorter on the top and longer on the bottom. So try to reach your foot out, and you feel a little bit of a lift in your waistline. That'll be nice to engage the muscles in a more balanced way. So we press the left hand into the ground, spread the fingers, lift the top leg, flex to go forward, double beat, 1, 2. Point the foot, take it back, and pulse 1 and 2. And again, flex to go forward. Point to stretch back. Flex, double pulse here. Point, push it behind you, double pulse there. And bring the leg center, lower it down. We rotate, point, bring it up high, flex and close it down. Point to kick it up over your head, over your shoulder, and reach out heel to heel. You lift, you pull the legs apart, then you squeeze them tight. Now reverse the footing. So flex the foot to lift and point to stretch it away. Flex to go high and point to lengthen out, stroke the air with your toes, lift again here and close. Développé, bend the knee in, pull the knee to your shoulder, lift the foot up, flex the foot and press it down. You can feel how these exercises in the series really works all the muscles in your legs from all different directions, and then reverse and bend and skate the leg down your bottom leg. So you flex foot to rise, point the foot, bend the knee, toe touches the thigh, you slide the leg forward, flex to lift last time, point, bend, and exhale, pull the belly in tight as you shoot the leg out, rond de jambe, big circle, inhale forward, rotate externally, up, back, around, and through center. You can feel your body wants to lean forward when the leg goes back. Resist it. That will help you open your hip, which is one of the big features of this exercise. Of course, this whole series really works your glutes, and especially like the lateral ones here. Let's reverse. Take the leg back, rotate forward, up, around, and then through center. Reach it back. If you press into your left hand, you'll feel that you can stabilize your body more easily. All right, we complete this circle and move into the figure four. The foot in front of the other thigh, hand in between the legs, wraps around your left ankle, right above it. Pick up the bottom leg, the right leg, and then lower it down. We lift and then exhale and sink. Bring it up again and close it to the ground. Don't drop it. Lift, hold, and a circle around and up. 1, and then 2, and then 3, and reverse. I almost went for more. And circle, felt good. 2, and 1 more here. And then lower the leg down. Okay, so now let's come up to sitting. Teaser prep, use your TheraBand if you want. I'll done with that today. And so here we'll take the band around the feet, or just have your feet together, rock back onto your sacrum, lift the feet up in the air, toes at eye level. Guys, your feet will probably be a little bit lower. Elbows can go wide and pull back. And then you'll just start. Let's push the legs forward, reach them out into space, hold the torso where it is, and then fold the legs back in. And again, pressing out, equal weight on your right and left glute here. Really a little at the top of the glute into the sacral area, but keep your spine centered and push the legs out and bring them back in. Now hold the legs where they are. We start to roll the torso down, lift the tail, and you curve your low back in towards the ground, maybe to the waist. Leave the feet where they are and pull yourself up. The arms can work, but also I hope that you're feeling your core. So you're going down again like so. And lift to come up. 1 more like that. It's good to know that you can figure out like how you can keep something in your body suspended in the air and work something else and make it be a really clean demarcation of what's moving and what isn't. All right, so now we're pressing the legs forward as you curl back. So the legs stretch away as you start to roll down. The heels should touch when the shoulders do and the head lays down. And then coming up, look at your belly, scoop the legs up and in. You can fold them if you want as you come up or keep them straight. And let's do that again. Now, if it's too much for you to go all the way down, just go part of the way down and then lift. You should be getting a lot of work in your core. You should feel this in your low abs. If you feel it in your back, please pull the knees in and use a band. And again, press it out, stretch here, and lift to come up. We're going to skip hip circles and seal for time. No, I'm sorry, and swimming for time and just go right into seal. So sitting at the front end of your mat, to end our session today, we'll take the hands between the legs, wrap your hands around your ankles, Rock back to balance on your sacrum. Open and close the legs, exhaling. Clap 3 times. Open 1, 2, and 3. Inhale, roll back. Try to balance on your shoulders, butt in the air, and clap. And come forward and clap again. Roll back now. And forward. Bring it back again. And forward. It's an inhale to roll back and clap. Tail high, head off the floor. Exhale to come forward and clap. And one last one for your spine, for your breath. And then I hope you all have a fabulous